And that's the perfect way to come on. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Julia's bar tonight. I'm taking over, and I've got some Three Furies ladies with me. Woo!
Hello!
We're furious.
So we are gonna have a great ladies' night tonight. I'll tell you that. Joe is already too intimidated by Rebecca's dirty comments to come on. So I got full reins tonight, and I'm going to take advantage of that. But first, let's say hello to everyone, and we're going to start with Drunk Jonesy, so the newbie can get acclimated.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rebecca Jonesy. I am COO of Three Furies Press, and I started pre-partying, so yay. It's going to be a good night.
All right, and then we have the one and only Katie Solitis.
Woohoo! Hi guys, I'm Katie Solitis, and I am the urban fantasy and paranormal author who's also the host of the Spilling Ink show, which will be on tomorrow night. So I hope that you guys will follow us over there tomorrow.
And the Isa the bartender.
Hi, everybody. I'm Isa McLaren, CEO of Three Furies Press and a crime fiction writer, and I'm coming to you tonight from the Terrace Bar and Lounge.
Which looks fabulous, by the way.
Thank you.
I am Julia Allen. I write as J.K. Allen, and I am head editor and president of Three Furies Press, and I write young adult urban fantasy. The most awkward introduction ever.
I love it.
We will jump to MM.
Hello, my name is Emily. I am somewhat new to Three Fairies. I'm an editor there, and currently working on a fantasy novel myself.
M is in our schedule for next year, right?
Yay!
No, it's the end of this year.
2021.
November.
I hope.
She hopes.
I hope it's 2021.
That is the best thing for all of us to hear.
Real quick.
It's not good yet.
Well, I am super, super relieved. I don't know if you guys have heard me saying over and over again how I need to finish my first draft. Well, I finished my first draft. Yay! I'm so excited about that. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Yeah, so thank you for joining us, everyone who is here. We plan on having some fun tonight, initiating.
I came prepared. I'm in the tank, ready to get tanked.
Yes.
I love
if you would like your own tank, then go to threefuriouspress.com.
Yes. We are initiating M tonight, and so we've got some drink specials. Which
usually this involves forks when I initiate people.
Oh no, that sounds like a journey.
I don't know what that is. I don't think I want to know.
This sounds a bit stabby.
The order of the fork. The order of the fork.
All right. So let's run through the drink specials real quick. I tried to be clever with naming them and everything. So I almost died the last time I drank tequila. So we have the devil's tequila shot because tequila intimidates me. And I want to know what's a genre you're intimidated to write and why.
That's tequila, hot sauce, and dill pickle juice.
Oh, yeah. That's intimidating. Nope.
Yep. It's delicious.
It's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
It's really amazing. I don't know how it comes out sweet, but it's delicious.
Stuff.
Everyone try it. It tastes sweet.
It tastes sweet. That reminds me of one of my favorite shots is like the chocolate cake shot.
Katie doesn't believe me.
That is a good shot. That is a really good shot.
It's crazy though, because you have a lemon with like sugar on it and you take a bite and somehow it tastes like chocolate cake.
What?
Yeah.
It's
okay.
insane.
No, I want to try that.
And super dangerous because I'm like, I could do this all night long and I'm the biggest lightweight in the world.
The key for that one is the Frangelico, which the only way I can describe it is it's the bottle looks like an Aunt Jemima bottle.
Yeah.
I don't know what liquor it is.
It's the monk. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so good. And that lemon just twists it from tasting like peanut butter into chocolate.
It's
That's
insane. It's like the craziest shot I've ever heard
What?
of, besides hot
I
sauce
like
and
magic
tequila.
shots.
But it somehow magically tastes like chocolate cake, and if you can get it, you're in heaven. Our next drink special is hot cocoa, because it's our favorite type of character to write. So whether that's a reluctant hero, the love interest, or the anti-hero. The next shot is Russian Roulette Mule, because it's a random question. So you get to pick a number 1 through 5, and I'll shoot a question at you like Russian roulette.
Shouldn't it be 1 through 6?
I am not a gun expert, so probably. I was
This is
wondering
just you
when
gotta
I
run
was
it.
writing
Random
it.
question.
Okay, so I'm gonna have a random question I just make up on the fly. Yeah.
I like that. I like it.
And then Jaeger without the bomb. So we had a comment that this was disgusting, and that is exactly the point. It
Jaeger bombs
was,
are gross.
I think it was Halloween, and my nephew had brought Jaeger and Red Bull and was like, "We're doing Jaeger bombs, right?" And my niece, poor unsuspecting 22-year-old that she is, didn't know what Jaeger tasted like. So she did the shot without the Red Bull, and we're all like, no, don't do it. And her face was priceless. And I named this in honor of her, because it's what part of the writing process do you dread the most? Because I would dread just taking Jaeger without the bomb.
So what part makes you choke? Got it.
Right. The last special is liquid inspo,
Katie's gone.
We already got Katie.
which is how do you get ideas when you're in a slump. So we have specials to fall back on. I don't know if any of those tickled your fancy. Does anyone want to start with the drink special?
Tequila!
Woo!
It's ladies' night. You gotta start with tequila, right?
This is true. It seems
Yeah.
like every time I do a ladies' night, they want to do tequila, and I'm like, you guys don't understand. I almost died.
This is where you find all the answers, folks.
The Magic 8 Cup. Yes. So what genre are you intimidated to write, and why? We'll start with Becca, since she wants the tequila so badly with her little hot shot side. Hot sauce side, yeah.
Like, I'm half intimidated, half it's gonna be a challenge, so I kind of really want to do it. Honestly, hard sci-fi.
Oh, that is
Like,
an intimidating one.
not soft sci-fi, the hard stuff. Because everyone knows I like it hard, like my tequila, like my drinks. Yeah, that's where I was going with that, Emily. What were you thinking?
I just gotta go.
So, but yeah, I mean, hard science fiction, like sci-fi. I love sci-fi.
So
Right,
do
I absolutely adore sci-fi. Military, soft, epic. Colonization, genetic mutations, love it all. But the tricksy stuff to write is the hard sci-fi, because that you have to have all of your facts down pat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Technobabble.
Sure.
As poor Katie found out last time I was drunk, they are rethinking they are retrying the laws of gravity.
Ooh.
So I really want to dabble in that now.
I have enough
probably won't
problems
actually
with
write
gravity as it is.
Yeah.
right?
They need to not
Right,
fuck around with that.
But like, I am so intrigued by this, because the new laws, the new theory. It's not laws, obviously. The new theory of gravity like re-explains everything. And just reading into it, like, all of a sudden the cosmos makes a lot more sense, and I'm like, ooh. So as my brain does, it takes reality and science and facts, and then just like makes a little story out of it, and I'm like, I could totally fold space.
Oh,
That'd be
that
cool.
sounds so complicated, though. Like keeping everything in your head.
Yeah, because energy is completely different with this new concept. So I'm like, I could do this.
Wow. Yeah.
Because at that
Well,
point,
what-
it's just a conversion.
Right. One thing you can do, because the guy who wrote The Martian is he would contact people from like NASA and be like, help
Well,
me
I
get
have
the
friends
science
from
part
NASA,
right. Yeah.
so-
Yeah. Yeah. You
Like-
could totally just be like, what's the science behind this? You know?
So many rocket scientist friends. It's ridiculous. But I mean, that's
Of course
all.
you do.
Rocket
Of
scientist
course you
friends
do.
do. That is all on Earth.
Right.
You know, outside of Earth, like thankfully, like I said, I do have a couple of friends from NASA. So
Insane. What about you, Katie? What's a genre that kind of intimidates you? You write everything, so I can't imagine what intimidates you.
Epic fantasy. I've dabbled a little bit in world building, completely new worlds, but I want to create more than that. Like I want to create completely different species, completely different religions, and make an entire world. But every time I start, I end up stopping because it's just, it feels like it's such a big job to do that I intimidate myself into not finishing what I started. So I've got lots of notes, but I've never actually completed anything for it.
Now, do you use anything like Scrivener to help you keep track of all that stuff? No.
Nope, I can't stand it. I'm old fashioned. I take lots of notes on different scrap pieces of paper. I have a million files,
Right.
every folders.
And
But
then you lose everything and find it months later.
When I write, though, it's all in one document. So I just
Right.
Yeah.
Now, do
I
you
would
do
like to
anything
point
like a
something out
series
super quick.
compendium? Oh, go ahead.
Mike asked something in the comments. Mike, Pathosis is available for pre-order now. You can order that now from basically anywhere. Go get it.
Get it from us.
go get it. Go get it.
Yeah, go get it from Three Fairies Press, and then you can get a signed copy.
Yes.
That's what we want.
My evil cackle comes out.
Plus, you get a personal letter from the CEO.
Right.
Yeah.
And who doesn't want mail from Isa?
There you go.
I like
Face
it
it,
when I
Mike's
get
probably
mail from
afraid of letters from the CEO at this point.
Oh, this is true. When you get a letter from the boss, it's not always good news.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
But I used an exclamation point in the subject, so you know it's friendly.
Just
Oh,
a simple
good.
smiley face.
Yeah. I wrote an epic fantasy once and I stopped because it was so derivative of Lord of the Rings. And I was like, why am I like this? So I understand the intimidation.
I'm actually
Katie.
currently writing an epic fantasy.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, but it's
exciting.
it's so derivative of the Bible. I've got to be careful.
Well, you know, a lot of those fantasies do incorporate mythology. So
Well, I'm
Right.
incorporating all of the mythologies of Earth. So
This
you want
is
to talk
very
about
exciting.
That's a lot.
Well, it's just like once you have like when you have a ranger character, I was like, that's too much like Aragorn. And then I had like wraiths coming in and I was like, wait. I need to stop. And this was like, before I even read Lord of the Rings. So I was like, what am I even doing? Like, where's this coming from? I'm just copying. How about you, Isa? What's a genre you are nervous about?
I think it would be urban fantasy. Now, the urban part I'm totally fine with because all my other writing is in real world. That world building stuff I just leave for other people. But developing a magic system to use within that and pulling elements from real world that could be interpreted as magic. That's just a really big job, making it consistent, making it believable, making sure there's nothing that pulls the reader out of the story. It's a big job.
yeah, and you have to stick to your magic system because if you screw
Right.
it up, then readers will catch on. And you
Oh,
can
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
tell, too,
it
if
breaks
you
the
write, like,
catharsis,
series.
and you don't want to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're writing a series and let's say book 1, you establish a magical rule, but by book 3, your plot has a character doing something that goes against the magical rule, you've written yourself into a wall.
That's when you say
Katie
that there are more than
speaks
one
from
type of
experience.
magic.
Done it many times.
I mean, Isa is the queen of series compendiums.
Right.
What's it called? I already had a lot to drink.
Compendium, yes.
Compendium, yes.
Do you want to explain that a little bit? Mike is saying he keeps a composition book. So it's similar, but a little cooler, a little fancier.
Mine it's a binder, so I can remove sections and add pages as I need. And I love office stationery, right? So I've got these really cool dividers that will hold the book cover in the front of it. And then beyond that, I have like my character sheets. All the characters have their own page with everything on there. There's a section for maps and places that we're going so that I can refer back to it and remember that that cafe is not the one that's opposite the church. And I do that for each book, and I have at the beginning a grid that tells me which characters are going to be in each book of the series. So I can refer back and go, oh no, those two people never met each other. So I have to figure that out, and that helps me keep track. And as I'm actually writing, I'm doing a lot of note taking and scribbling stuff down. And then as the manuscript kind of pulls together, I type that up and make it pretty so that I don't have to decipher chicken scratch handwriting when I go to start the next project.
Isa explained this so well when she was talking about it. The first time I heard her talking about it, I was like, oh, that's just what I need. I need to do that. So I went out and I got the notebook. I got a big fat one. I knew exactly what I was going to do. And
sounds about right.
I'll see if I can find the video I did.
It's been like a year and a half now.
And I'll put it on our
I have all the notes on my
Three
computer.
Furies channel.
Yeah, the great thing about this is you don't have to do this ahead of time. Like Isa was saying, she does it as she writes, or you can do it after. So you don't have to be a plotter. It's just like if you want to remember what's in book 1 by the time you get to book 4.
Right.
Like, because I'm always
that's why
like,
I wrote it down.
did this happen in book 1 or 2? Like, I'm always asking my sister, like, when did this happen? Like, when did these characters do this?
Even in the same book, right? You start out with this minor character who you've given the last name of Smith. And then by chapter 39, you're calling him Jones. You're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Who was that guy
I screwed up my main character's last name by book 3.
Yeah, so
thankfully none of them had published yet.
I like the binder thing rather than a composition book because then you can like organize your notes. So like you can be like, I wrote this 3 months ago, but I need to put it in the back of the book. Like I like that a lot.
That definitely, because I've bought like 18 notebooks just because I'm like trying to put it in order, and then I get like halfway through the notebook and I'm like, but none of this makes sense, so let's start over.
Oh, hey.
So
that's a very good point. I could just rip these pages out and put them in my folder. Because I have all the scribbled notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't read them, but they're there. I even bought a hole punch.
I remember in high school, I had the nicest handwriting, and now my handwriting is like, so typing up notes is nice.
I've never had good handwriting, so this is me on a good day.
I can read that. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a special pencil. I have a special pen now. It's got a grippy on it, and I added a grippy to it to make it bigger so I can actually hold it easier.
Right.
Because I found out a large part of my problem is actually just have really bad hands. So
the older I get, the more my handwriting looks like my mother's, which is weird because
Robert's in the comment section offering body parts to Mike. I would just like to point that out to everyone.
Black market.
Brains are expensive, so take the deal.
Also yummy.
So yummy. And it's Robert's, Mike, so you know it's never been used. I mean, that is a
that is the burn of the century. Ouch. Oh my heart is hurting for my brother right now.
Well. Okay,
we're gonna skip me for the drink special and jump to M because I really want to hear Emily's answer to the. She's a debuting author.
Yeah.
So this fantasy is kind of her first foray, but is there a genre that you're like, ooh, I don't know?
Definitely horror. I am scared of everything. And so if I like
it was a dark and stormy night.
No. Yeah. So just like even reading it, I've I've edited a couple horror stuff for Three Fairies, and like I've absolutely loved it, but I like read a page and then I like put it away and hide it and read a page and then put it away because it's like I love it, but it's so terrifying. So like
He's talking about you, Jason.
Yes, I was gonna say she's talking about Jason.
That would figure.
100%. It was so good, but it was just like, I don't know if I could ever like put the emotion and time and effort that's needed to have it be so real. I don't know. That's why I stick with fantasy, because nothing is real.
Nothing is real, but sometimes it's the hardest to write.
I like real.
Well, I mean, part of the problem, let's face it, is you were dealing with Jason, and Jason is so realistically creepy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not afraid of spiders until for like those 3 days after I read his last book.
Yeah. Yep.
And I was like, yeah.
A Quiet Place. Is that a horror show? Do you guys know what that is? Or
It's the horror movie. It's about the creature that hunts by sound.
Oh, right. Okay.
And the family has to live quietly, and I'm like, why don't they just move out?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
See, that's why I like Jason's. Jason's makes sense. Like, his people are stupid.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, no, don't go in there. It's haunted. And they're like, okay, I'm not going in there. It's haunted.
Yeah.
Duh, I'm going the other way.
Everything is so logical.
He's got smart characters
Yeah.
that get hunted and tracked down by demons who take them over.
What gets me about Jason's is it's not necessarily like monsters coming at you, but it's like that psychological horror where you're just like, it gets like in the back of your head, and then you're thinking about it like 4 hours later, like, oh my God, what if, you know?
Yeah.
Like
or
that's
something that like
Jason.
you want to label it something nice and cozy and easy to understand, like a demon, but no, it's friggin' what was her name? Amalia.
Right.
And she's not that easy to categorize, and she doesn't care.
Right.
If she doesn't follow the rules of demons, no.
Oh, it's okay. Mike's explaining a little bit what the movie was, so that makes sense. I tried to write a steampunk story.
Friggin' Jason.
Which we got an amazing steampunk story coming out. Lisa Madonna is coming out with Out of the London Mist, and I'm so excited for that.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes.
Okay.
I hope so. But
you know me, I better read his vocabulary.
Right. It's such an aesthetic that is so well known that I was intimidated to even write like what the characters were wearing, because I'm like, what if I'm not getting this right? And
you know what? I might have to change my answer.
Yeah, she was
steampunk.
Amazing. She just jumped right in.
If you screw up the 16th century customs, like you have them say the wrong word, they will jump on you. They will get you. You know, oh, she buttoned up her purse. Purses didn't have buttons then. You know, 26-page dissertation to prove why your one sentence in a book was wrong.
Right. There's just enough like historical accuracy with the aesthetic that it's just like, I don't even know where to begin with it.
I was kind of thinking that if I do a steampunk, I'm just going to have them like invent Velcro early. And then like everything.
Universe. Yeah. Just AU steampunk, everything's Velcro, and
it's just like the 80s all over again.
And
but like way before.
So
right. Says the one who'd never lived in the 80s.
I was hoping you would say that.
Star Trek can do it, right? The Star Trek Save the Whales movie, right? They said, how do we know this isn't the guy that invents transparent aluminium?
Exactly.
Right. So, and if they can do it.
Very good point. Yeah.
Anyone can do it.
Hello,
readers are more critical, though. Like we were allowed to get away with a lot more back in the 80s and 90s, but in today, no, everyone is 100% spot on because they can research those details instantly. So I think authors are getting called out so much more for any tiny little mistake. Doesn't matter the genre because of that.
Let's face it, nerds, us dorks, we have always been hiding in the background, reading your books, going, no, that's not right.
Mhm.
Right now, we have a platform to actually reach out and tell you.
Right. Before it was just like shaking your fist at the book in your corner of the
Exactly.
room.
Now I
you
can actually
jump on
thank
the
Anne McCaffrey
internet.
for the giant plot hole she left.
Right.
I was screaming at one of my phone games because it's a murder mystery game, right? And this woman breaks into the suspect's house and steals evidence. And they just let her off the hook. So I'm like screaming at this free phone app going, you can't use any of that evidence. She's,
obstruction of justice.
Obstruction of justice. She, breaking and entering.
Yeah, there's
That's
like 5
me.
crimes wrapped into that.
I paid $0 for this app. I expect it to be right.
I love it. I love it.
I love it.
But that is so true. Like even stuff we don't pay for, we're like, why isn't this accurate and better? You know?
That's the thing though. Like there's a sense of entitlement that goes with it. So it's not just calling somebody out on your mistakes. It's being brutal about it.
I'm trying not to interrupt the conversation. I just wanted to sneak in a hi JD, but put me in the spotlight there.
Everyone pause and say hi JD.
Hi,
JD. Right.
I know how your magic system works, Robert, so don't worry.
Yeah, no one does.
That's a great trick, though. Don't tell all the rules.
How your magic system works, though.
Right.
You have
Don't
to
tell all the rules. For sure.
But they're brutal. They're not just telling you you're wrong, but they do it in such a mean way. That's why I tell people don't ever look at Goodreads. You can read any review anywhere else, but if you go to Goodreads, the gloves are off there, and you get some of the most brutal reviews on anything, even if it's a free book, and they'll be sure to say it. I got this book for free, and it wasn't worth the money I paid.
Yes,
Ooh,
I've seen that. It's like
that's harsh.
And the worst part was it was a book that I liked.
Right.
They obviously didn't have a proofreader, because they had a couple of commas out of place, and and I was like, no, fuck you. Like, this is my book, and I'm like, no, fuck you. First of all, bitch. Like, how much did you pay for this? How much did you pay for this? And you're going after one who gave it to you for free?
Right.
And you're gonna leave a 1-star review with a 3-paragraph review, just tearing into this woman's personality. She attacked the author personally.
Oh, that's not very good.
And I was like, nah. Like, I will fill this thing with so many curse words that it will automatically be pulled. That's the trick. I didn't even know that author, just so we're clear, but I really like the book was it was a good book. Could it have used some finessing? Yes, but who the hell is gonna pay $300 for line edits on a freebie?
When it's a free book. No. Yeah, for sure. I love
also, it wasn't a short book.
This reminds me of the post that I put on Facebook that was like, when you have no spoons, but someone goes after your friend and you find sporks because they're stabby.
Yeah.
So you go after them. Like,
I know how to stab with spoons. Let's be clear.
You just turn them around and stab them.
Yes, I love you, Em. So you put your thumb in the bowl of the spoon, and it lets you brace. Because if you look,
she just has the spoon on her.
See? Right there,
she was ready.
Hits right into the groove, and it braces it so you can stab them with the handle. Anita, if you put that in your book, I want a shout out. Actually, it's Anita. She's probably already done that.
She probably has, yeah.
I need to have one of my characters kill somebody with a cocktail pick.
Oh, John Wick does a pencil. No one's done a cocktail stick yet. Yeah. You should.
I always love those little plastic swords that they would stab the fruit in and put in your cocktail.
Yeah.
I have a collection of
those.
I'm not gonna lie. I have a little stack of the Southwest stir sticks that you get for your coffee. And there's a little heart on them. Those things are friggin' stabby. I used to have
one of those. Dort stole it, and I never found it again.
Dort stole it.
Yes, I'm glaring at him now.
Her cat.
I know. Yeah.
You did.
My cat steals my stuff all the time, so I can totally relate.
Yeah.
Every time I complain about this, my children like to remind me that I did name them after burglars. So
Yeah.
what do I
Yeah.
That's
expect?
true. You know, they're just living
I
up
think
to
what
their
Isa
name.
really needs is Isa needs to get herself a ferret.
No, thank you.
I
'Cause
love
ferrets
ferrets,
are
but they
thieves.
smell so bad.
They're so
They're
cute.
so cute, though.
They're adorable.
Ferrets
They
are
smell so
adorable.
bad.
My dear friend
bad,
had
bad,
ferrets,
all
and
the
I'm
time.
just like, no,
They need
thank
their
you.
dry baths, not wet baths.
Okay.
Oh, is that the trick? Yeah.
Just
Yeah, because if you give them water baths all the time and use soap on them, their skin starts breaking down and they get
Oh,
horrible
gotcha.
dandruff. So they produce a lot more oil, which can't reach their fur, so they start to stink because
Uh-huh.
they have a skin
Gotcha.
infection. Please be nice to your
Right.
ferrets and don't give
Be
them
nice
baths,
to your
except
ferret.
like
Please be
Yeah,
nice
like
to
every
Anita
season.
and don't give her a spoon. Because she was just talking about spoon and eyeballs. And I can't even.
Let's be clear, Anita. If you stab anything through an eye, you can do serious
It's
damage.
a bad idea, yeah.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Anita
mean-
writes horror too and dark fantasy, so she's always looking for these ideas. Yeah.
Now I'm thinking like eyeglasses through the eye.
Oh god.
Oh,
Just don't talk about eyes. We're done with the eyes.
yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so moving on. Hot chocolate. What?
Hot cocoa. Yes. What's your favorite type of character to write? Well, I'm going to be random and start with Katie.
Favorite type of character. I like to write coming of age style stories, so I like to start with a character that is naive to a point, not stupid, but naive to the ways of the world that they're being thrown into, and watch them fall on their face a bunch of times as they become better at things.
That's
right.
a
I love a
fun
character
archetype.
that can grow.
Yeah.
How about you?
The rookie.
Yeah, the
Take
rookie.
a drink. I got it right when she's drinking, like a waitress that swoops in when you're eating. How is everything, guys?
Katie's always taking Spoonie to the next level.
Oh no.
Did you say my name? Because my sound cut out. So if you did say my name, I'm just like,
oh,
okay.
She was drinking.
And I'm just over here
Julia
going,
froze.
It'll be my turn
okay.
eventually.
No. Fault, yeah.
I love an anti-hero. To quote from Leverage, sometimes a bad guy is the only good guy you get. So, I love these people who explore morally gray areas. I'm a very morally gray person myself. So I really like pushing that boundary, how much is acceptable and still be considered a good guy.
Which is why your con man is perfect.
Well,
because he's a con man, so he's
yeah.
So he's not like a perfect character, but he's still like you root for him.
I hope so.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in because I don't do the anti-hero. I love the reluctant hero, the person that's like, I didn't sign up for this, but I'm gonna do what I have to kind of make things work. So that's the character I love to write. How about you, Em? We'll jump to Em now.
Man. So whenever I'm writing, I always get distracted from the main character, from like the best friend character. Mm-hmm. So I always have like pages of information about like the best friend. And then I'm like, I don't know who my main character is. Wish it was the best friend character. I don't know. It's just fun because you could kind of go, I feel like a little bit more wild because I feel like you have to have a main character that's like really trustworthy and really solid. And then like every other character can just kind of be whatever you want it to be.
You get more fun with inventing them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love the quirky side characters too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's definitely my favorite.
I got to say, I agree with Mike. My protagonist in my new series definitely has a temper to where she's like, I'll punch you in the face.
So she didn't say it. She just did it. So we're all clear.
She just does it. Yeah. I kind of love that about.
Boom. Yes.
At the beach. And you're in the water now. Yeah. So I'm pretty excited about that. How about you, Rebecca? What kind of character do you love writing?
I like writing the crazy motherfuckers. I mean, just so we're all clear. Pitch
Really?
was never supposed.
Are you sure?
Right. So Pitch was never supposed to be in my book. He was supposed to be like, he was supposed to pop up at the beginning, and then in like book 3, and then book 5, and then book 8. But Pitch is fucking crazy, so he'll just do whatever he wants, and it is so much fun.
He's my favorite.
So, like he was supposed to take off after meeting Simon.
Oh.
But he didn't leave.
No. And he gets better with every book. Like he gets more outrageous.
He's more comfortable around her every book. So he can be more himself until, like in book 3, you get to see him who he really is.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next couple of books, you get to see more and more of who he has been in the past. Yeah, Pitch has a mind of his own, and he doesn't mind sharing it or putting it someplace else because,
or marking his territory.
That's what
or marking do not go there.
Yep.
Yeah, he has no problem keeping his ears out or his nose to the ground. And what better way to put puns in than to have them be visual puns from a silent character?
Yes. I love how much he says without talking.
Has anything changed? The shapeshifter points to himself.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I love writing them, and I'm not gonna lie, I've got them in a lot of my books. Not just the Mebsdoll series. I also have Mike. I'm gonna pre-apologize because you're the only Mike in here. But I have a reoccurring character in like all of my books, and he is named Mike. He is the bumbling asshole. And in Mabsdoll, you find out why nothing ever goes right for him. And like that was a storyline that went backwards for me.
Yes, it's great. But you kind of do need that like comic relief character in each book. Like no matter how dramatic or how serious your book is, like if you don't have that character that we love to laugh at, like then you're kind of missing a dimension.
Yeah, and my books are dark. They're bloody. They're terrible. And Pitch is a dad's joke. He is the dad joke.
Yes.
Right, and he is the dad. He is
the dad.
Almost. He is best friends with literally the dad.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, he takes his protector role seriously, but with humor for sure.
Well, yeah, because he's a dad. The dad jokes are strong with him.
No. All right. So, which special would we like to partake in next?
The egg yolk fell out of my mouse. I'm gonna have to make a new one.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds awful.
I'm gonna send it to you. That was the best thing ever today.
I saw that meme earlier.
Oh my god. You'll yoke it up later.
Okay. I'll get it later. Sure.
Someone send that to Julia. Someone in the chat send that to Julia, or someone in the comments. Also, I love how Isa's smoke is purple because it's all backlit. Like I'm feeling like I want to be cool like Isa and Katie. I want to like put lights back there or some shit. Oh, but then the dog would eat them.
Yeah.
Maybe I won't do that.
Idea. Yeah. I know everyone's got amazing setups, and I'm just like blue. All right. I'm gonna pick for you since you guys aren't picking. Jaeger without the bomb.
I could throw a die. I have a die.
I like the Jaeger.
I lied.
Okay.
Jaeger it is.
So what is the part of the writing process that you dread the most? So we're gonna start with M this time. M.
And then she's gonna drink more so she can talk straight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to refresh my drink.
Well, I really want your point of view because, like I said, you are a debuting author. So, like, this is all like. I remember when I started, I was like, everything is hard. Everything is like, what am I doing? So, what's the part for you that you're kind of like, this is like what I procrastinate starting on?
Man,
and you can say all of it.
Yeah, I just want to say all of it, honestly. I think honestly it's the drafting because I just get so excited about like characters and story and ideas and everything, and then it's like, oh crap, I have to like figure out how this all goes together. No, I'm just gonna type forever, and then
I have to make actual words do now.
Yeah, that is very hard. Do you plot a lot then, or are you more of a pantser?
I'm kind of a pantser, and then like I plot like one chapter ahead because if I plot anymore, it will change. So
right.
Preach.
Yeah. I know it's like not the best, I don't think, to pants, but it's definitely what I rely on.
Have you tried adding an insane shapeshifter to your book, though?
You are in good company because everyone here but me is more of a pantser. And I even pants at times.
There's no one right way to write. You write whatever works for you.
Yep.
Awesome. And it's even going to vary from book to book.
Yep.
Exactly. Exactly. I talk
Especially
about that all
book
the
of your
time.
series.
Yeah, I'm like every book I have a slightly different process. I have to figure out how to like get up that mountain again. And I like how you put it because I'm kind of the same way as far as like plotting. Sometimes you just plot the next chapter just so that when you sit down, you're like, okay, I'm going to write this happening. Because if I don't figure out at least like what's going to happen when I sit down, then I'm just staring at the screen going like, oh my God, what do I write?
That's when Brand goes shopping again. It's like, I don't know what I'm going to write. Let's go shopping.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's your character too, though. So, I mean, that
is definitely
on point.
Totally Brand. So it's on point for sure.
It's on brand.
And there's the dad joke.
That is not fair. I do not have an aversion to plotters. Joe, you and I are having words later.
Yeah, no, but everyone loves to pants here, so there's definitely nothing wrong with it.
It's fine.
Exactly.
Right. Well, we'll jump to Katie then, since Joe called you out, and see what you dread the most about writing.
Okay, well,
I wonder what the answer will be.
As a pantser.
As a pantser who does it right.
Oh man.
I hate writer's block. And it's funny because last night or the night before? I think it was the night before. I sent a message to Julia and Becca and I said, I need inspiration, guys. And they told me to do a sprint. And I'm like, but I don't know what to write.
I'm just going to sit here and write hi all night.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Type the word hi until something happens.
But something did happen. You did end up getting words down.
Yeah, you got words down. See?
That's true. That's true. I ended up getting into an argument or having my characters get into an argument with their boss. And that was fun to write. So,
and good dramatic tension.
The not knowing what to write is the worst part, I think.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. And that can be a good
Katie,
time.
If you want to just like share that with me, I would be more than happy to massage it.
When it's
to get into that story
and coherent enough for me to share, not saying it would be perfect, but when it's
I like it dirty.
Oh no!
I will send it out as a beta.
Yeah,
I'm not saying as a beta. You know,
she's an
obviously
alpha.
I will still be your beta, but I'll come in there with a cattle prod. You know, I'm cool with that
because there's
about
cattle
prod.
I'm right around the 20,000 word mark right now. Which is usually when things start getting easier for me. The first
I'm not gonna lie, I really just want to. I just want to plan out some assassination attempts. That's all.
And that's why I seriously do not know the other two assassination attempts. I got the first one, and I know the one where they try to kill the main character, but there's two that I'm missing.
I really want to go for that beheading scene
and do the brainstorming channel.
Come on, beheading.
brainstorming with others is the best.
That seriously is. That helps,
Mhm.
especially when you
Yeah.
hit the writer's block phase. Just being able to soundboard ideas and bounce them off each other.
Yeah, I definitely message my friends. I'm like, what do I do now? Yeah.
That is the Jonesy special.
Yep.
It is.
I will be right back.
Okay. Rebecca, what's the part you dread the most?
The ending.
Yes. Okay.
Because
you're a true pantser. You never know until you get there, right?
Well, I mean, with my stories also, none of my stories end.
Right.
The book stops. Like even my romances, my eroticas, all of them don't have a hard ending, pun intended. But like there's always that huge, climax, right? So the next part afterwards is usually either super sappy or super hard to write.
Right.
And the last couple of books I've written have been especially hard.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, another thing, like I just straight up leave some of these parts out, some scenes out of my book, so I don't have to write down while I'm writing because they're just too painful to write in the process. So I'll be like, chipmunk murder scene here in parentheses and move on.
Right.
I still feel bad about writing that scene. Like I hated it. Like, I can kill people. Right, I got no problem killing people.
But
I have no
is a
problem
story.
mutilating people, but hurting an animal?
Yeah, that's a little.
I can't do it.
Yeah, she just falls.
Yeah. Like I was like, okay, Julia, like this is literally how it happened in that book. I was like, I'm about to write the scene. I need you to be here for me later. And she's like, I'm here. And then I had to tell her when I wrote later, I was like, I had to kill a family of chipmunks, and they were pinkies, and they were just babies, and they're in their den. And she's like, oh, I'm sure that was so hard. And like in the back of my head, I know she's going, that's what she was upset about.
No, I think I breezed through the
part. I breezed through the part where the insane woman beat a man to death with a tree while singing. Right, I breezed through the part where she's like ripping chunks off of a woman and dancing around. But then I had to write a part where baby little chipmunks got killed, and I couldn't take it.
I was sending her gifts of like cute animals.
That's what I have to write at the end of my stories.
Right.
Is all the things that were too hard to write. Yeah. It's like I will put out all the terrible. I will drink a lot first, and then I will write it all out, and then I'll go cry to Julia.
Blooper reel's getting you. That blooper reel's coming for you. With this weekend endings and this show, that blooper reel is coming.
That blooper reel is getting big at this point.
She's gonna have her own show for a blooper reel at this point.
And I cannot wait.
Oh yeah, I'm
so
totally
here for this. Yeah.
Totally here for it.
Yeah.
If I had any shame,
when you need to skip a scene, just this scene in brackets and jump ahead. That is a fabulous tip.
That's what I did with the ending.
Yeah.
Until you forget about it and submit it to your editor. And she's like, I think there's a scene missing here.
I've done that.
Yeah. Julie was like, that to me, and I'm like, wait a minute, guys.
My parentheses and was like,
Hold
missing something?
on.
Question mark.
You guys don't do a final go through before you submit?
Yes, but like my brain hates those scenes so much that sometimes I jump past it because like I still don't want to think about it. It's like, no, I'm gonna hide.
That's like the first thing on my list to search for is the brackets.
Yeah, mine too. But I know it hurts me so much. I still jump. And like I think Julie had to poke me 3 times before I wrote the chipmunk scene.
I write down chapter.
Go.
And I'm like, chapter, this big fight happens. And so I missed that on one of my drafts.
Yeah, Julia's
like, you have a fight here. Like, where is it?
Julia did that one twice. And I was like, okay, Julia, we're going to work this together. It's okay. Like, I understand this is me and the chipmunks. I got you, girl.
Wow.
You help
Yes,
me with the chipmunks,
yes.
I will totally beat up some angels for you.
Yeah, that's totally where I'm like, fight scenes is what I struggle with.
Like I can punch an angel, punching a chipmunk? That's just wrong.
See, that goes back to my don't kill the dog theory.
That's right.
Animals is you don't touch animals.
Animals are innocent.
You can
If you guys have not seen that video, you need to look it up. Animals are innocent. It is a wonderful, wonderful music video.
Okay.
Oh, no. All right, put that on the list.
Right. Isa, how about you? We'll get you in before we wrap up. What do you dread the most?
The writing part.
Making words do. Yeah.
I just want to be able to plug in a cable and just download it, right?
Ooh.
It's all in my head. I just want to download it and then it'd be done.
That would be fantastic.
I swear,
I know.
I think there are some people who would work better as a co-author.
Right.
That's
like
hard thing to do, though.
What's her name? Margaret Weissman?
Yes.
Right? She wrote almost 0 books alone.
Oh, but it was like she was the idea machine.
Amazing books with other people.
But
like Margaret Weissman and what's her name? Hambly. What's Hambly's first name? Anyone?
I don't know anything.
Wambly.
Oh, we just got to go ahead to
Hambly.
keep going for a while. This party's gonna go on.
We're almost at an hour, and I'm barely getting toasty.
Yeah, let's keep drinking, guys. Woo! I'm all about that.
I'm gonna order some takeout, have it delivered. It'll be great.
It'll be great.
I love talking about food. Tell me what you're gonna eat.
I want Chinese food so bad.
Oh my god, Chinese food. Oh, that sounds so good. Our Chinese just opened up again because they had closed for a while.
So did mine.
And then I saw the announcement on our city Facebook group, and they're like, "We're back!" And I was like, "Yes."
Did you go a little bit crazy? Because I went a little bit crazy on mine.
Seriously,
I'm not gonna lie.
Everyone
my bank won't let me go too crazy, but
like
my bank is kind of like, you have limited money, Julia. But
kind of.
No, let's not talk about the money part. No.
Right. Oh my gosh. I was talking to
Just
Emma
the
about
Chinese.
this the other night.
Stick to the Chinese.
Yeah, we feel like
I perfected
bad
my
spending
mochi
money,
recipe.
but it's like support local businesses, right? So we
you gotta
justify
support
getting
your
ordering
community, right?
takeout.
Although I have to say, though, you have your Chinese restaurant and only that Chinese restaurant works for you. You go to a different one and it doesn't make it right and you can't eat it. Like, I have the
Exactly. You get your
Mickey's
favorite.
Asian Bistro of Locust, North Carolina.
I want to answer JD's question.
Yes, please do.
Because I'm super proud of this. I invented 3 different cocktails for my book. And one of them even actually has the story of how the cocktail originated in the story.
Yes.
I made the millionaire's mark at Isa's house for her party. It was awesome.
Ooh, nice. Yeah. And I'm so jealous I wasn't there. They video called me so I could pretend to be there for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. I started the video call with Julia and then I knocked on Isa's door.
And I was like,
and then I held it up to my face so when Isa answered and we saw each other in person for the first time, Julia was with us.
Screamed. Yeah.
It was so loud. I loved it. And then poor Julia got a close-up view of the backside of Isa's head because I hugged her.
I got married.
Yeah. For JD's question, I am putting some Korean food in this book because my character is half Korean. So there's some Korean dishes being made and throwing around some fancy words and stuff. So that's my answer. Does anyone else want to answer JD's question?
Actually, I have a question for JD since he's the tea man.
Yes.
And tea is a very important thing in book 5. And I need some special tea blends to look into.
I'd also like to point out that Julia is not bad at this. And while reading her book the other day to do edits, I was like, red tea.
Oolong. Oolong is a good red tea.
Okay.
I
had
to
look into it because tea is a big clue in this book. And I want to have different varieties of tea and the ingredients in them.
Don't forget, Anais is also a tea queen.
Mm-hmm.
Yum.
I think she prefers gray teas. JD, correct me, please. I know you know better than I do. Also, there's a possibility you're sober, and there's no possibility I'm sober.
Yes, Korean food is kind of fun because they do spicy, but they do like spicy and sweet or spicy and savory. Yeah, so it's nice because it's not just like burn your taste buds away.
Okay, wait. How do you say that word? Because I can't say that word.
I have no clue. The one that
Rubos?
JD just said?
Is it Rubos?
Rubos? Yeah, I think maybe.
I always say it weird in my head because I know I'm gonna get it wrong. So I'm always
I
just like,
do
Rubia.
Let's just call it
Well, the nice thing is you're writing it, so you don't
and by
have
the way,
to know how to say it, Katie.
The bergamot is something that's actually I use in one of the scenes because that's the scent that my bloodhound notices. So yes, I have used Earl Grey as one of the clues.
My favorite has to be the jasmine green tea, though. Like I am right there with Anita on that. That is my favorite out of all of them.
Okay. There's a tea blend that I absolutely love just from a grocery store, honestly. And it's got orange peels and cranberries in it mixed into a black tea, and it's oh my god, it's so good.
So like Thanksgiving.
I think you would like oolong tea then too, because that's kind of a fruitier flavor. I basically like every tea except for the flowery ones.
Okay.
Because for me, I'm just like, it's too flowery. It's too floral. It reminds me of perfume. And I'm like, I just can't get into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only tea I like is Long Island iced tea.
Yes.
That's pretty good.
That's a good one, though.
I should have known that was coming.
Long Island iced tea is my jam. Yes, that is my drink.
That is the only acceptable answer.
Oh yeah, I also that is another one I love. But like I don't like to drink too much of it. I can only have like one cup because it overwhelms my nose.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't have a tea that overwhelms your nose.
Oh yeah,
because it ruins the flavor.
You go taste deaf afterwards because
yes,
a little bit. Yeah, you get overwhelmed by it. Yeah.
Yeah. However, right after rose tea, like this is a little trick I love. You eat a dango.
What is
like
that?
one of the nice smooth green tea dangos?
Oh,
a dango is a rice dumpling, and you can get them in a bunch of different flavors, including rose. But if you eat a green tea dango right after drinking the rose pearl tea, oh my god!
Okay.
Like
that sounds magical.
All of the flavors pop.
Yes.
Like, but they pop and like fizzle and like go away, and it's so amazing. Like you kind of need the two together. They balance each other out. Like we were talking about with the drinks earlier. You know, you mix all these crazy things together, and it makes your brain realize something else.
Yeah.
Same thing. So you take the rose pearl tea, and once it starts to get a little overwhelming, you eat a green tea dango. I suppose. What's it called? Matcha.
Yeah, matcha. I love matcha.
Matcha dango.
Okay.
Actually, I met her at a cafe.
I got that word right for the first time. Like
matcha.
She would make me a matcha smoothie with a strawberry shot,
like and strawberry syrup, not like strawberry liquor.
Yeah,
we'll clarify. It was a coffee shop, not a liquor
I'm done.
Right. But it reminded me of my childhood. It was literally, like what the strawberry shortcake dolls smelled like. That's what it tastes like.
Oh, I can't stand that strawberry. Oh, that is one smell that bothers the crap out of me.
Strawberry?
It's like childhood in a cup.
Oh yeah,
strawberry. Oh, I can't stand that smell.
I like snake berries for the smell. It has a better strawberry smell than real strawberries. Do you guys know what snake berries are?
No, I've heard of them.
They're wild strawberries. The really small round. They're like really round, tart ones. They have a better, cleaner strawberry smell than like strawberries or even fake, but especially fake strawberries.
Regine's a little mean.
I like hemlock tea.
Also, for Mike, who said it, the texture was weird. With matcha, you have to like whisk it really, really well to get the powder to like dissolve into the liquid. Otherwise, it's all bumpy and gritty and
Yeah. Wait, that's why
I let it hydrate for a bit, and then I hit it with my Frosker whisk.
Yeah.
Okay.
That helps. Just blend it up with some ice.
Good
and a
to
little
know
bit
I've
of
been
milk.
doing it right.
Put it in a NutriBullet with some milk and water and ice, and it's so good.
Yeah.
I've done that the last 3 mornings. It's my favorite.
Yeah. Basically any tea, I'm like, I'll drink you.
Yes.
Not gonna lie. But
tea is my favorite.
I like teas, but there's just there's a ton I can't drink anymore because I can't have any dehydrated fruits. I can't have any dry fruit.
I feel ya. We're fructose malabsorption twins.
Yeah, try and get a good flavored tea with 0 citrus peel in it.
Right. Oh, that's a great question. Emily, you want to start with that since you got called out?
That is your Russian roulette question.
No.
Boom.
Boom. Russian roulette.
That's a good one.
So the only like finished stuff that I have is poetry and short stories. And I can't really speak to like long form fiction or anything like that. But with poetry and short stories, for me, it kind of gets to a point where it's just like, that's the best that it'll be. There's some stuff that I've written that's like, that's not my best, and I could do better, but I've spent so much time on it, I can't do it anymore. But there's definitely some stuff that I've written that I can't even explain it, but there's like a definitive, like, that is what it is going to be. 100%. Like,
the story is over.
Right. Well, it's kind of like if you paint, when you put that like one color too many on, and you're just like, now I'm just adding stuff to add it rather than to make it better.
Right.
Oh, that's how I feel about like the second stroke. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not a painter, folks. I mean,
but it is this feeling that you get where you're just like, instead of adding value, you're just adding.
Right. Exactly.
That's a really good way of putting it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Or you just get sick of looking at it, so you're like, I'm done with this.
Totally our Puff the Dragon right now with her purple smoke.
Yeah. It also
the background is just so magical.
Right?
It's amazing.
I do actually have a dragon-shaped bong that's called Puff the Magic Dragon.
That's amazing.
I know. I was giggling. There we go.
Right. Joe has a perfect point too. If you're ever I'm not sure where I am, send it to your editor.
Yeah, that is a really good way of doing it. If you have a dev editor, she'll be like, no, this is the line.
Yeah.
this is where I draw it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or when your editor goes, it was due a week ago.
Julia, Isa.
There is a saying, perfect is the enemy of done. And sometimes working too hard to make perfect, you actually will never.
I have never heard that before.
Yeah. Oh, that's big.
We need that. Like that needs to be TFP's motto now.
Right?
That's
a t-shirt.
Circles. You know,
that's
they say finished is better than perfect.
Well, and when you get to that point, like Julia said, where you can't stand looking at it anymore, that's generally that means you've gone over it enough times that you're done. Even if you think it's perfect,
how I draw the line.
Done. And usually it's a couple of different revisions. It's not like you just wrote it and said, okay, I'm done. You wrote it, you've reread it.
Julia, take this. I'm done. I don't want to look at it.
I don't want to look at it anymore. Well, a lot of people get
hide under my desk while you read it.
Because they're just like, I need to make this chapter perfect before I move on. And it's like, no, you just need to make it written and then keep going. Like that's what editing is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Em,
takes me so long to draft.
Em, I will bust out the kettle prodding you too.
Yeah.
I'm
excited.
Not even the CEO is immune from the cattle prod.
No, the cattle prod gets everyone.
I have said this since day one. I want it to get ripped to shreds because I know that's what's going to make it good.
I just realized I've cattle prodded all of you this year.
Wait, you didn't cattle
Em
prod
was very lightly.
I don't think me not yet, but probably
I didn't get a cattle
soon.
prod.
I gave you a little poke at first. I'm
Joe.
like, okay, well, just make sure you have this done by here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Aw, Em rocked it.
I did rock it.
Everyone knows because I've been screaming this from the rooftops for years now. Julia friggin' rocks the edits.
Oh,
She's
thanks.
amazing.
Oh, I'm blushing. I'm literally going to turn beet red. Here's the exciting part. Yeah.
Blame it on the alcohol.
Katie?
But you know what? That goes into that comment though, or that question. How do you know when you're done? After your editor has read
Always,
it,
JD.
you know
always.
you're done.
Right.
Because your editor will give you that final okay or fix it.
Or add this or take out this. Right.
Yeah.
Also,
Katie,
I'd like to
number
say,
1
once
through
your
5.
editor has it, let go.
All right.
Mhm.
Katie gets shot with how long does it take you to edit? Perfect segue.
Okay, are we talking revisions for me, or are you talking when I edit for others?
No, revisions for you, for your personal process.
Revisions for me? It depends on how long the book is. Probably anywhere from 2 weeks to 2 months.
That's fast. 2 weeks is fast.
That's very fast.
It really depends on how much work the book needs. And I usually send out chunks to beta readers. So I get feedback before I go into the big revision. So some sections may not need a lot of revision. Some sections need a heavy revision, and it takes me a little bit longer. But yeah, it varies depending on how long and how much is needed.
I'm really confused right now about the boiling sand comment. Sorry.
Someone said to make JD said to make sure you use antibacterial lube for the prod, safety first. Regine says boiling hot sand is antibacterial, and he is correct. It is. And Robert says, yeah, that's the truth.
Wait, what?
Katie's laugh is so awesome. It should be a ringtone.
Nope.
Yes.
1 through 4. Pick a number.
Oh no.
No, she already got
she already got one. Okay.
What?
Rebecca, 1 through 4.
3.
Okay. Good writing is rewriting. True or false?
True.
That was way too easy.
Why?
Do you think that's true? Yeah, I can't let you get off the hook that easily.
Oh, I get off real easy.
I
not
gotta
a bad
go.
thing.
Rewriting, like when you have first written it, and once again, like your brain says, "Okay, done. I'm done." Like I have done everything I should have done, or I can't make this make sense in my brain anymore because I've gone over it so many times. Then you let it go and hand it to your editor, right? Give your brain a break so it can refresh. And then when it comes back to you, read it. You can reread it and rewrite it as if you're just cleaning up now.
Right.
So
it's
yes,
important to take that break.
It is insanely important to take that break. And how long that break is depends on you as a person, which is also why you must trust your editor.
Right.
Also,
but you do want to get those fresh eyes on it.
Just a tag on that. Beta readers are gold. If you can find readers you trust to look over the work and give yourself that mental break and come back with feedback, it will help you revise stronger before it even goes to an editor.
Also, make sure that you send it to at least one person who doesn't know your world or your magic system. Like M up there was genius at it because I'd already explained things to Julia. But I hadn't explained things to M. So M came in and she was like, well, why this? Well, what about this and this and this and this and this and this? And
hello, Maria.
I need to add some clarification here.
Yeah.
Right.
Some things I had to say,
needs
like,
to be,
this part has to be confusing because it has to be confusing.
Yeah.
because that's how my fae are. Because
Yeah.
they're fae.
Yeah.
This will make sense in
Right.
book 6 when her crazy phrasing here
Right.
Mhm.
comes through. It's like, just wait.
Right, because Faye can't lie, so it's a little trickier.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I didn't
tricksy
even-
being a fae. Yeah.
I didn't
Especially
even
when the fae doesn't know what she's saying.
Yeah.
Right.
I love those rules that you have to follow and
Mhm.
working within those rules, because it
Mhm.
makes you do a lot of mental acrobatics to make your story work.
Yep.
You
Which
have
is why my compendium should be so huge, but it's
it goes back to the
empty.
Right.
system and writing something in
Yeah.
book 1 and then going in book 3. Fuck, I can't do that because
Yeah.
it's book 1.
Yeah.
Well, Katie wrote
like I said-
herself something difficult because she was like, magic is neutralized around this character. So then it's like they can't use magic ever around her to get out of things.
Yep, she can take
And
And they
all
can't use magic on her, and
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have to make sure that I fact check everything, and anytime that character is around, the whatever deception cannot be magical.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
super
I'm not
cool.
gonna lie, like that's why my series went from 53 books that I was thinking of down to like 20. Because like she
is still
can
a
never
crazy number.
tell a lie.
Yeah.
That's a
So
tough.
How much can
everything-
you say?
But you can
Yeah,
twist
exactly.
the truth around really, really good. So if you're good
Exactly.
at twisting the truth, you can still get away with stuff without technically
Oh,
lying.
wait until you see the twisty twist at the end of book 7.
I'm excited.
I'm so excited. Yeah. All right.
It's up,
Isa, 1,
Julie
2,
and
or
M
4?
have access to it.
Wait, which one?
2.
2. Okay. Do you write in order or jump around?
Jump around.
Yes.
Obviously.
So how do you keep it straight in your head?
There's nothing straight in her books.
yeah,
Have you met
nothing.
Fran?
Have you met me? Sometimes I just have to go back and reread, like the section I'm working on now. I'm like, wait, did this thing happen already or not? And I have to go
Right.
back and look, was that, oh no, I wrote that scene before, but that actually doesn't happen till later. It just involves a lot of rereading, a lot of rewriting.
Yeah, I did that in book 1 where I kind of was like, I'll write whatever inspires me. And I wrote it by hand in notebooks. So it was a little easier for me because then when I could like reread everything, typing it up anyways, so I could start editing it and putting it all together that way. But it also meant that sometimes I'm like, I wrote this chapter twice because I forgot I wrote it. And so I was like, oh, I want to write this one. And then I was like, now I got 2 chapters of the same thing. But, you know, that was my method for book 1. That was a craziness that happened. Okay.
You always gotta try something new. I mean, and with every
Yes.
book, like I said earlier, every book is slightly different. And I think everyone here can agree that the last book of your series is totally different.
That's so bittersweet to write the last one.
It
It
hurts
is.
so bad. It hurts
I
so
still
bad.
dangling pieces of the plot thread when it comes to the last book, so that if I ever choose to come back, I can.
I swear that's why I write all of mine with soft closes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See,
Well,
I
you
was
were-
awake late last night and thinking up the last book in the series. I haven't even started writing yet. I was like, this is why I need to download them for my brain, because that last book, it's written.
That's done. Yeah, you've got that in your head. Exactly. For me, writing the 3rd book was hard because I knew it was like saying goodbye to the characters, basically. But the 2nd book, that was way harder. And everyone always says it's because you know better than the 1st book.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, expect it to be better, but then you're like, it's not good enough. You know, so you're writing it and you're just like, oh my gosh, why is this not better? Because I know it should be better, you know, now.
Which is
that I'm
why I
writing.
now tell all of our authors, look, if you know there's going to be a 2nd book before you shop around book 1, at the very least, start book 2.
Right.
Jump
I'm
around.
I
jump up and get down. Yeah.
As a pantser, I definitely write Just
waiter, wine.
Nice. But I've learned the benefit of bracket something happens here and continue on when I run into just.
Actually,
I don't know
Katie
what's going to happen right now.
Trick? It might have been Katie who taught me that trick to bracket something. And then move on.
I'll use a random word like rabbit that I know like I won't use in the story, so I can search for it and be like brackets rabbit. Like this is where I had a character that needed a name, but I didn't know what to write. So
yeah, I do the parentheses with stuff happens, or if I know what's gonna happen, I'll be like, this is when she kills.
Yeah,
the animals.
And just move on because you'll eventually bridge that gap. But if you keep stopping, like running your head into that brick wall, you'll never get forward. You have to go over the wall for a minute, write what comes, and then you bridge the gap later.
Nice. Eb's living it up over there.
Yeah.
The sommelier.
Woo, chalice.
Woo, that's pretty. What you drinking?
It is a Pinot Noir Brut Chardonnay. Or Brut Pinot. It's pink.
Yeah.
It's pink. There we go.
It's pink.
Actually, what is everyone drinking tonight?
I was initially drinking a cinnamon daiquiri, but now I have wine.
I'm not gonna lie, that does not sound tasty.
It's so good.
Cinnamon daiquiri?
It sounds good.
It's very
good.
It
sounds good to me.
Just the simple syrup in a daiquiri is replaced with like a cinnamon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's not like the straight cinnamon.
Good. Like,
just to clarify.
That sounds grainy.
Ooh, Joe's drinking a margarita.
Nice.
Oh my god, I could so go for a margarita right now.
Yeah,
I'm thinking I'm gonna have to order
like tequila to me.
Order some Chinese, yeah.
Mexican.
Yeah.
You can order Mexican? I'm so jealous.
Well, whatever fast food Mexican's nearby. Like the legit restaurant that I love to go to isn't open right now.
Yeah.
But I could do like a Chipotle or a Cafe Rio or something approximating the food.
I am way the hell out in the boonies. No one delivers here. Like
Rebecca lives in the swamp.
The swamp.
However, I mean, it's swampy enough that right now I actually have a pool.
Nice.
Because I had a gargantuan tree fall over today, and I now have a 20-ish, honestly, it's probably around 15 foot, a hole in the ground where the roots ripped themselves out. It was very scary.
No. That was during your live too, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. And I'm so proud of me. I managed not to pee myself because I was really scared. Like, I just watched it just... You can hear it. I did a live in Becca's books, and you can hear the original creek fall because it took 3 tries for it to finish falling over, which is why I thought it was just different bits of debris. It wasn't until after the storm was over and I walked outside that I saw it is my largest tree.
Just over, yeah.
Fallen all the way over, ripped up the ground. I have no clue how I'm getting that out of there. The thing is gargantuan.
That's wild.
Giant ass on fire.
Just like the tree on fire.
Yeah. It's in my neighbor's yard. I have 5 acres and it's in my neighbor's yard.
Oh my goodness.
Then it's not your problem.
It's only half of it.
Not the top half. The top half is not my problem.
Yeah, only half of it's the problem.
Off at the dividing line, and you each have firewood for the winter.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what happened. Our second largest tree, which isn't actually our tree because it's on their property, fell into my property. So I took the top half and cleaned it up, and the bottom half is still sitting there because they never cleaned it up.
Well, now they'll have 2 halves.
Yeah, well, they call the cops on me if I touch their property, so...
Right, exactly.
That's wild.
Yeah. So I instead put a face on the other tree that's just staring down at the dead tree and at them. And then I put glow-in-the-dark paint on the eyeballs.
Nice.
So Becca had a hard time getting a drink tonight. What did you end up with?
There was one booze hut open, and I did get my bourbon.
Ooh.
I'm not gonna lie, one of my favorite mixing bourbons, because obviously I'm mixing tonight, it's called Ancient Age, and it is absolutely delicious when mixed with Pepsi.
Mm-hmm.
And Coca-Cola, it is too sweet. Just so everyone's clear.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm saving Isa for last because I know she's got a fabulous drink. So what is Katie drinking?
I'm going for my standard, my Moscow Mule. That is my go-to drink lately. It's becoming my signature drink at this point.
It really is. Every time I see you, you've got your little copper cup.
I was so happy. Both.
And you've got the prettiest cover cup tonight. So yeah, she's using her bright blue one. Isn't that adorable?
And it matches the lights. I love it.
Over Christmas, I had found this set in a grocery store, and I told my oldest daughter that I really wanted this. And then later, I had told Becca, just in conversation, I was like, I don't think she's going to get it because, teenagers.
Hold it up.
Yeah, hold it up.
But I really, really, really wanted a Moscow Mule mug set. And so Becca sends me one as a Christmas present. And then sure enough, what does my daughter get me? So I have 2 different mug sets.
Which is perfect, though.
Perfect.
Because it's your signature drink.
It's my signature drink. And I absolutely love them. So I have one that's more aluminum, and then I have a copper one as well.
Nice. So I was so nervous about hosting that I'm just drinking my Diet Mountain Dew. But after the show, I'm having some amaretto.
Yum.
And I'm pounding it down and going, woo, because I become a woo girl when I drink.
Yes.
I'm a woo girl. I will fully admit to it. And now, last but not least, Ice is drinking something fabulous because she's the bartender.
Yeah, I'm drinking Pellegrino.
Okay.
Yum.
They have these bottles on sale at my grocery store. It's my favorite bottled water, so I treat myself. I am drinking it out of a vintage Tom Collins glass, though.
Oh, nice.
That's super cool.
I want to see.
Have to be, fancy.
Oh,
Nice.
That's pretty.
Yeah.
I have 2 of these. One with green stripes, and this one's orange, white, and yellow.
So are the stripes supposed to be like the fingers for the measurements?
Those would be some generous measurements.
Those would be some seriously generous. I approve of that idea.
I approve of that.
I'm sorry.
Well,
I have just recently gotten into the decorated stuff. I have cut crystal stuff all over the place that I almost never use anymore because I drop it a lot.
Oh.
But my sister-in-law is amazing at buying the absolute prettiest stuff.
Oh, those are like constellations.
This is my new stemless wine glass, which I now have bourbon and Pepsi in. But yeah, there are actual. I'm trying to get it out of the glare. There we go. There are constellations that I can't get it out of the glare and have you still see it. But yeah, they are adorable. Also, I'm not joking. I have a wine glass that she purchased that my nephew gave to me. It holds half a bottle, like the huge bottle of wine. It holds half of one of those. So it holds an entire bottle of wine. It is so huge.
I'm just having one glass.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and that's what it says.
Just having one.
That's what it says. Just one glass of wine.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. All right, so we've got one last special, Liquid Inspo. So Katie was kind of talking about how she hates writer's block. So what do you do to get ideas when you're in a slump? I don't know who wants to start with that. Should I just call on someone? Becca, okay.
I love the way you wrote this because mine is in fact liquid. Like I will take a shower, I will take a bath, I will go swimming. I don't know why, but for me, water makes me think, makes me get creative. I know, I don't know if she's still with us tonight. Anita does the dishes.
Yes.
And she gets the best ideas when she's doing the dishes because it's something, mindless. Your body just moves. You have, your brain gets some breathing room, and that's me in the shower, which is why I now have a little notepad in the shower. By the way, dry erase markers on a glass shower works perfect.
Ooh, yes.
You don't need anything else other than the marker. So I just put it on the top and I can take any notes I want.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's a great hack.
So yeah, anytime I'm getting stuck, just go take a shower.
Sure,
I'm not gonna lie, I also have a chair in there.
Aren't blind. Like I wouldn't be able to see anything. I'd be up against a shower door like this.
Draw on the walls.
Writing 3 feet high.
And then her cat will come in and bat it out of her hand anyway.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
I never thought about that because I wear glasses, but it's mostly for astigmatism. So I never thought about when you can't see in the shower. That would freak me out.
I can't
that
recognize
terrifies
my
me.
children without glasses. I cannot see past 4 inches, honestly. So, like, I have to know where everything is.
That's wild.
But like, thank God for glasses, right?
I know, right?
Thank God for glasses. Yeah.
They let me
I
drive
can't
and
see
everything
anything
with
past
glasses.
4 inches. That explains her ex.
Oh my God. You are on fire with the birds tonight. Like, I cannot get over this. So, Isa, since you
So this
can't
is me
write
on a
in the
bourbon
shower-
night.
Since you can't write in the shower, what do you do?
It kind of depends on what sort of inspiration I need. If I'm just totally have no idea whatsoever, I like to go to a museum or walk around a neighborhood and case it.
Mm-hmm.
I look for the security cameras. I look for hidden access to houses and where the security guards in the museums are. And it just gets the criminal part of my brain working. And I'll usually see something that will spark an idea.
That's really interesting. Yeah.
If I'm stuck on a big plot point, I like to go for a drive. I get the best ideas while I'm driving. And if I'm
those speed bumps really jar the
I mean,
killer
just shake
instinct.
you guys,
everything.
you remember when I drove to the beach that day? I just
Yeah.
like really needed to work on it, and I drove 2.5 hours to the beach and back one day. Like I literally turned around and came back. But if it's another thing I do, if it's a very detailed thing I'm stuck on, is I play solitaire with real cards, not just my phone app.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually something that my character Brand does. If he's stuck, the act of playing solitaire gets the creative part going. It's like works in the
Playing
background.
solitaire to dawn with a deck of 51.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like Rebecca was saying, you know, you're kind of giving your body something to do while the back of your mind spins.
Right.
Boredom is the playground of creativity.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Katie? What do you just hit up a friend?
Yeah, I think sometimes when I don't know what I'm going to write, just chatting with somebody and throwing ideas around, you know, that whole throw shit at a wall, see what sticks. Sometimes having somebody, you know, either agree with you or go, that's completely stupid, or somebody who just kind of listens to you verbalize the ideas can help, you know, make
just being your sounding board to let you talk it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes when you're just putting it into words verbally, that's when you're like, oh, I got the idea, because I'm like working through it in that moment.
Or like I said before, writing hi a bunch of times until you eventually write something that's real.
You need that other person, because if you're just debating it with yourself, you can't see any of the flaws in your logic.
Yeah.
If you can't prime the pump yourself by just, you know, hitting keys, then bounce it off someone else.
And they don't even have to like give you any, you know, further depth into the idea. Sometimes just them hearing, yep, I hear you, okay. It does something in your brain that makes it real, and you're like, yeah, this does work. Okay, I can write that.
Yeah.
Right. Or like you were saying, just like free writing and saying like, I don't know what to write until like actual words come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the hi, what am I going to say? And then eventually words happen. Yeah.
It does, because you're like, okay, hi. Okay. And your mind goes, well, who are you saying hi to? Oh, I'm saying hi to this character. Well, why are you saying hi to this character? Oh, because this. And then you start formulating the idea.
Actual situation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Katie had a plan for all those highs.
Yeah.
I always have a plan for my highs.
I think Ice is talking about a different
purple
high.
dragon.
Emily, what do you do when you're in a slump for inspiration?
Oftentimes I just leave it for a couple months, which is why it takes me forever to do anything.
Maybe not Three Furies endorsed advice here, guys.
No, don't do that. I hate everything. Honestly, I think what I do is I just have fun with my characters more than anything. It's just like have a scene that won't be in the story at all, but just like the characters making fun of each other. Or
that's
if
a
I was just
great
about that. I was
idea.
like, do you guys ever write your characters just like having a day off?
dicking off,
Yes.
all the time.
Well, I mean, I know I write my characters dicking off all the time.
In her romances, maybe.
Or not romances.
Who talks to their characters in the shower?
What?
I used to do that a lot when I was younger.
Talk to
as
your
I would
characters
make
in the
up
shower.
stories and conversations and stuff. And then I realized I never remembered it. So I stopped doing it because I used up all my good ideas.
My
And
family
then I'd
no
get
longer
it out
thinks
and be
it's
like,
weird. Like they used to catch me talking in the shower and thought I was weird. Now they don't even blink.
yes. You've trained them well. You've trained them well.
That's kind of me everywhere.
Yes.
So the thing with wearing face masks in public is I can talk to myself and no one knows. And it's amazing.
I know I look so creepy in a grocery store, which is one of the reasons I never go to a grocery store anymore. Because like I talk. I just talk to myself.
I talk to myself all the time.
I know I look insane and creepy and
see
like,
when I had small
children.
When I had small children, I just pretended I was talking to them, right?
Kiddos, like it looks normal, but you know, when you're a lone person walking around, leaning on your cart, going, "Well, why would she say this?" And and I was like, I'm like talking about my stories out loud in public,
right?
Yep.
No, I'm always like, Julia, why are you doing this?
Yeah, then like this little old lady goes walking past me, going, "That girl ain't right." Bless her heart.
Bless her heart.
Bless
yeah,
her
you
heart.
are in the South.
I don't know how many times I've heard "bless her heart" while in a grocery store.
Oh goodness!
I'm like, okay, I'm done.
I would get in fisticuffs if someone said "bless their heart" to my face.
Honestly, it really is said in the sweetest way, and then they do, in fact, mean it in the sweetest way. It's like, "Oh, that girl ain't right in the head." Like they are genuine.
So,
they
like,
are genuine. No, they are genuinely like sad for you. Like you can see it in their faces, you can hear it in them. They're sad for you. It's like,
I don't know if that makes it better.
They're sad for you in the moment, but they're going to talk mad shit about you to their gossip circle later.
Well, I mean, everyone talks mad shit about me anyway. Because I mean, mad shit. Like,
no.
Yeah, I do a couple of the things like you guys do, like write a side scene that I'm like, maybe this will never be in the book, or it's from a character's point of view that I don't write the book in. But that'll kind of spark an idea. Another great thing I did is I bought a deck of tarot cards that just have like the most beautiful, fantastical images on it. And so I can draw a card, just like a random card, and oh, this is a great like motivation for the character to have, or oh, this is like heartache, the character, like what heartache can I invent for the scene because I pulled the Three of Swords.
Oh,
like that really can inspire like a lot of ideas, because you'll get like, you know, like I said, it'll be like a personality trait.
You're literally dialing into your muse.
Yes.
Sounds like it.
And it's a special deck that I bought just for it, because the pictures just inspire me looking at it. They're like mermaids and, you know, all these magical creatures. And I'm just like, ooh, you know, ideas, you know.
I want to learn tarot. Okay, question for the audience who's listening. What deck of tarot cards should a newbie first look into getting?
Rider, wait.
I would so love to learn. I seriously do. So I'm interested. So I want to hear, and especially because I know we had Mike listening.
Lauren.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Say about it.
So I want to definitely look into some options. I want to learn. I'm really fascinated by tarot, and what's the other one? Oracle
cards. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm really fascinated.
What do you mean? What's the other one? There's like 8,000 of them.
Yeah.
But the ones that we always talk about, the ones that always can come up with conversation with us, with our
runes. That's what I'm always talking about. What are you talking about?
I would love to get runes, because I have a friend, when she pulled a rune for me, it is so specific and like spot on for whatever situation I'm in, and it's like bam, like
JD has an answer, y'all.
Yes, JD's answer is wonderful.
That's not quite the tarot deck I was looking for, but yes, Magic the Gathering.
You know what? That would work really, really well for story writing.
It would.
I'm gonna go grab some Pokemon cards. That's what I know now.
Okay,
You know,
we did have a.
Okay, I literally turned to Vampire the Masquerade for inspiration for one of my scenes.
Yes, why not?
Okay, I'll send you that one later, Dex. Actually, no, I did. I posted part of that scene in our last sprint. I don't think anyone actually saw it.
If you posted it, I read it. I mean, you know I read it.
Okay. It was
I read it.
Fight between Gray and Zach.
So we had 2 questions from John, actually. The first one was favorite cocktail. And then this one, I think he's trying to say, how do you like fit writing into your schedule?
What's a schedule?
Accommodate writing.
Yes. How do you
I thought
accommodate
it's a
writing?
taco, honestly.
Yes, this is the schedule. Once again, I
You
got
write
everything I
tacos.
needed to keep things straight, and then I didn't fill it out.
Look, I'm self-employed. So when I'm talking to myself, I'm having a business meeting.
Yeah.
That's kind of how that works.
Yeah.
I like Becca. Becca and I talked about different planners and schedulers for like 2 weeks, and we were like, "Oh, I'm so excited about this one. I'm so going to try this one." And then like we're both like, "Did we actually fill out our planners?" No.
I'm not gonna lie. I actually do have a weekly planner. Let me flip to a blank. I'm gonna pull up the blank one because I don't want you guys to see my real one because I've got personal information for other people on here. So
Wait,
here is my real planner. This is my unfilled out one. I have a weekly planner that I do adore. This one, I'm not gonna lie. It's got Monday through Friday on it, and then it has a Saturday, Sunday over here, and then it has a list of things to get done during the week.
That's cool.
With little check boxes, which I adore because I love checking things off. I'm not really sure why, but I do love it. It makes me feel really good about my day.
Hey, incidentally, the whole checkboxes to-do list thing for pantsers out there who don't like to plot, I do a system of writing to-do lists for my characters that I can check off as I go. So I'm not plotting. I'm giving them a list of things I need them to get through this
brilliant
story. So milk, eggs, cheese, go dragon, go home.
I love that. That's really cool.
Yeah, because plotting can be kind of a dirty word. For me, I do 2 things. I can't fill out a planner and be like, I'm going to write out everything I'm going to do for the rest of the month. That's just way too much for me. But at the beginning of my day, I'll be like, I need to edit 6 chapters in this. I need to write, for an hour or do 2 writing sprints or something.
JD. JD.
Oh no.
I'm like, why are you guys laughing at me? What did I say?
Yes,
I do enjoy checking off.
But just kind of having that to-do list at the beginning of the day helps me, and writing sprints helps me. Sometimes I'll be like, how am I going to fit writing in today? But then I'll just jump on Flight of Furies and be like, who wants to do a writing sprint? I do 2 20-minute sprints, and then it's like, oh, I have a whole chapter done. Like that's usually how I get my writing in, is writing sprints.
Yeah.
With other people.
And that for me, because nothing motivates like a deadline. So sometimes knowing you only have 20 minutes to write helps push you to do something, even if it's like write high 15,000 times.
Yeah.
Deadlines kill me. They freak me the hell out. You give me a deadline, boom, I can't write.
Right. But if you do a writing sprint, then you're like, I can't procrastinate because Katie's writing with me at the same time.
Writing
so I
sprints
actually
work
have
for
to
me
start at 8.
That like gears up my competitive side.
Yeah.
The competition.
And the person I love to compete against the most is me.
Yes.
So when all of my sprints are in the same group, I can go back and see what I've done before, and I know the situation I was writing then. Well, what can I get done now?
Well, the sprints also turn off the internal editor, because a lot of us, even though we want to write,
my internal editor eats me alive, not in a fun way.
We stop at a sentence and go, "Oh, I didn't like that sentence." But if you're sprinting,
I love beating myself, Joe.
Keep going.
It is my favorite hobby.
I'm just gonna keep smiling.
You guys, Emily's dad is watching.
No, he went to bed a long time ago. We can
we're
talk
safe
all
then.
we want.
We're safe then. Okay.
I mean,
Emily, you
I
wanted to
wasn't
give a
gonna
shout out,
stop this
though.
because someone's dad was watching. But what did JD say?
Hasn't stopped you before.
Huge progress, and then like a page here and there. Yeah, of course.
All the time. I'm a binge writer. So I will sit down and I will do the sprints, and then after the sprints, I will throw down another 2,000 words or 10,000 words. There's no telling with me.
Oh, 10,000 word days make your brain mush. Sorry.
I've never.
Honestly, like they don't really make my
mush.
they like
leaks out of your ears.
They get my brain all spun up, but like my hands and my wrists start breaking down under the pressure.
Yeah.
I
don't know what that feels like.
3,000 is like my max per day of still being able to function afterwards. If I go beyond 3,000 words, my brain just starts melting, and don't bother talking to me.
I used to write a book a day. Like I would drop 35,000 words a day. But then I'd have to take a break of like 2-3 days because my hands were so sore. And I'm not gonna lie, like recently I switched to Dragon Naturally Speaking, and that helped a lot for just throwing the words on the page. But then I don't know what I did. I broke it or something. I think I allowed it to read my emails, and now it just like writes all kinds of crazy shit. No matter what I say, so I have to like restart it. I need to wipe the memory from it
or something.
Yeah. I have to restart it. So but yeah, I mean, using Dragon Naturally Speaking, I can throw down 70,000 words a day.
Wow. I have trouble remembering the end of the sentence from when I started it. I don't think I could.
I also speak Beccanese, so like once I go through it to start editing to do my rewrites. Yeah, Julia also speaks Beccanese and Dragonese, so that helps a lot. Like I would say, Julia speaks several languages.
Now, I will say that most of my first drafts are not what you would consider a first draft. It's more like a screenplay. It's literally she said, he said, and I dialogue. I hear the characters before I see what they're doing.
My dialogue is words only, no action, no movement, no body gestures, facial features, nothing, just words back and forth.
You guys are like, I am just the opposite. Like I am writing out all of the actions.
Yeah.
And then later I come back and add dialogue. It helps that one of my characters is mute.
Yeah. That's how I do it too, though, because it's like I feel like for me, I always pick up on like social cues and like what are people doing with their hands? How are they are they messing with their hair? Are their hands in their pockets? So it's like that's what I notice more. So it's
and then you have to come back in later and be like, what were they saying when they were doing all that?
Yeah, they can't just stare at each other this whole time. Like there needs to be words.
The opposite, because I'll write in, he said that anxiously, and then I'll go back and go, well, what does anxious look like? Okay, now we throw in the body language cues.
Yeah, and I see all of the other things first. Like I know what they're doing technically, I suppose. I kind of know what they're saying. I just don't know what words they're using to say it. So I have to come back later and like, fill out the things I put in there. But I also like the majority of the time, like I don't describe backgrounds. I don't describe scenery for the most part, unless it's like active scenery, like, the woods went quiet. The water started to ripple. Things like that I add in, but like I don't describe anything else. I describe the action of the scene.
Yeah, descriptions come later for me too.
As a dev editor, I find that a lot of newer authors really have to learn how to rein that in, because they go overboard on describing every single detail and every single step a character takes. But it's like, okay, rein it in. We only need to know what's important about it. Otherwise, describing every single thing, we don't know what's important. Everything is being just laid out before us. Give us what we need to find the important bits.
100%.
That's a great point. Yeah.
Also, Beccanese is a good pun. Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I was reading that and
yes,
trying to still listen to Katie, but also like still trying to laugh.
Oh, do both. It's fine. I'm used to being laughed at too.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know it's got to be a curse word And an innuendo.
And an innuendo. And then
Yeah,
it's fully
everything's an
beckoning,
innuendo.
right? Yeah.
That goes without saying.
All right, ladies. I think we need to start
Give you
wrapping
an
up.
innuendo.
Yeah, before things get really risque.
And now we're gonna go to the behind the curtain.
Yeah, so let's just let everyone know where we can find you all first and talk about what's coming out next for you, and then we'll say goodbye. Do you want to start, Em?
Oh God. Okay. So give me a second because I changed my Twitter handle and I'm trying to look it up because I don't remember.
We'll start with Becca. Becca, where can we find you?
You can find me at Rebecca Jonesy on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all over. That's REBEKAH, and then Jonesy, you see it below. And I am everywhere. You can also find me at Rebecca Jonesy at blogspot.com. And of course, you can find me at Three Furies as well. That's threefuriespress.com.
All right, Katie, where can we find you?
I keep it super simple. You see my name right there? There we go. KatieSolitis.com. That is your portal to everything Katie Solitis, including my Spilling Ink show, my self-publishing services, and all of my books and social media. Go there and you'll find every link you need. Come stalk me online. I love making friends.
And I do love stalking her.
Isa?
Stalking is fun.
I'm on Facebook and Twitter as Isa McLaren. You can find me at threefuriespress.com as well.
All right. So I just got a brand new website. So it's hijinkswriter.com. So you can find me there. I'm Hijinks Writer on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as well. You can also find me on Three Furies, of course. And I have a book coming out in September. It's my brand new series, and I'm very excited. Half-Blood Alliance, woo! Emily, are you ready now?
Yes, I'm ready. Okay, so my website is emilycatherinefisher.com, Catherine with a K, and that is also what it is on Instagram. And then my Twitter is mcatfish, so EMKATFISH. So
is there a story behind that?
No, it's just my name.
I
is
like
her
the
name.
catfish part.
Catherine Fisher. So like catfish seemed to fit. So that's what we
I approve.
Thank you.
You should put up a different homepage every time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just constantly swap out your profile picture.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got two announcements to make before we end. So one is that we are doing a show every Monday, the first Monday of the month, with Go Indie Now, and that is in progress. So we're booked through December. We've got some really great guests, and it's kind of just looking at writing from more than one perspective. So from the perspective of an editor and a writer or a publisher, or we had Katie on this month, and she did a great job talking about her story coaching and all of that stuff. We also are doing a special town hall next Friday at 10 p.m. with Stacey Overby and Diana Robertson, where we're just going to be addressing Mental Health Month and different tips for the anxiety, stress, and overwhelm that's just going on right now. So be sure to come back and check that out. We've got some great questions and comments that for us to talk about. And with that, I will say the magic words. It's always time to go.
Wait. Everyone, lift your glasses.
Cheers. You
want cheers, Mama Estrada.
Yes.
Cheers, Mama Estrada.
Mama Estrada. And it's always time to go indie now. With that, the bar is closed. Thanks for joining us.